This video is going to look at the Mendeley Microsoft Word plugin and how you can use it to do your in-text citations. So if you think you've missed any stages leading up to this point, just make sure you watch the library's other Mendeley videos. We've got ones on how to set it up and install everything, including the Word plugin, and also ones on how to add different resources like journal articles and ebooks. So this video, we're starting from the point where we have already installed the Mendeley Word plugin and we have our library set up with some resources added to it. So this is just a very basic Word document I've opened here as a sample. And in order to open our Mendeley plugin, I'm going to go to References, just one of the options along the top here. And then you'll see Mendeley site. I'm going to click that and it's already signed me in because I have my Mendeley library open here in the background. And I also have my referencing guide open here as well. So that's important to always have some kind of referencing guide open so that you can double check things and maybe spot any mistakes. So we're just going to focus on in-text citations for this video. And I have three kind of examples laid out here already. And all three examples are referencing the same excerpt from the same book. So basically, we're just going to look at how the different ways of doing three different types of in-text citations for the same source. And for kind of information around parenthetical versus narrative, you can take a look at our referencing guide, or the APA website has a good description of the differences, but it'll become clear when we do our in-text citations, just the subtle differences between the two. Just two different ways of displaying an in-text citation, I suppose, and working it into your assignment. So the first one is a parenthetical example. So this text is a paraphrase of an excerpt from a book by Houston on social psychology. And I haven't mentioned the author within the sentence leading up to it. So that means we're going to put in a parenthetical in-text citation just at the end of the sentence. And you want to put it after the last word, but before the full stop. So just put your cursor where you want it. And then we're going over to our Mendeley site pop out. You can see here all my references are here, so I only have two, but obviously you might have a lot more built up and you may have collections. So you can set up different collections, maybe for this particular assignment or for a particular module. But for now, I'm just working off my all references folder. And what I'm doing is I'm finding the source I want. So an introduction to social psychology, and I'm ticking it. And it gives you a little preview down here at the bottom of what your in-text citation will look at. So I'm just going to click into that. And you'll see the preview again here, Houston et al. 2021. And I'm happy with that because that has our author's name. The et al. Signifies that there's other authors. So they'll be listed in more detail in our reference list, but et al. Will do for now. And the year which we need. And we don't need a page number because it's not a direct quote, it's a paraphrase. So if I'm happy with that, I'll go back and then I'll just hit Insert Citation. You can see it has put it in here. So that's what a parenthetical example looks like. So the parenthetical is the brackets, basically. You're putting all your information within the brackets at the end. The narrative example then is just going to be slightly different. So we're going to kind of work the author's name into the sentence and then include the year in brackets afterwards. So you can see here I've put in Houston just as a kind of placeholder, but I'm going to change that now in a moment when I do the correct kind of in-text citation. So again, I'm going to put my cursor where I want it. So I want to say according to Houston. So I'm going to put my cursor there. And again, I'm going to go to my introduction to social psychology, ticket. Again, I'm going to click into the little preview down here. You'll see it gives me the same preview as the previous one we just done, but that's not what I want. I want it to look kind of different. I want the author to be outside the bracket. So basically you just go down to citation formatting. And then the display as option, you can see it's set to author year, both within brackets, but I wanted author outside the brackets with the year following inside the brackets. So I just select that. My preview should update, and then save changes and insert. And then I'll just get rid of my other mention there of the author. And now you can see it's according to Houston et al. And then 2021 in brackets. And then it's the very same paraphrase. So it's the very same information in both of them. It's just the way it's presented. Everything is in the brackets in the first one, whereas in the second one, the author's name is kind of worked into the sentence. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. I think it's good practice to maybe do both within your assignments, just so it mixes things up a bit and it makes your assignment a bit easier to read and a bit more natural. The final example then is a direct quotation. So you'll probably have read, and your lecturers might have explained to you, that it is better to do paraphrasing where possible, and you'll always want a higher percentage of paraphrased references rather than direct quotations. But there is times where you want to maybe need a direct quotation for something very specific maybe, or something you just can't put into words better than it already is. So when you're putting in a direct quotation, as in this final example, see here you have your quotation marks. And again, what you want to do is, so we'll put our full stop in here. You want your, again, it's a parenthetical citation you want to put in, and you want to come after the exclamation mark, or after the quotation mark, should say, and before your full stop. So we just go down again to an introduction to social psychology again, click on our preview again, and this time we want author year, so similar to the very first one we done, but in addition to that, we also want to include our page number. So when you do a direct quotation, you should always include the page number just to specify where exactly you've got it. So you just go down to source details, set to page already. That's the one you'll usually use. There's other options there, but generally it'll be the page you'll be referencing, and then we'll put in whatever the page number is that we got that from. Once again, then you'll see up the top your preview is updated. You can save changes and insert. And so similar again, you've got the author, you got the year, but this time you've got the page as well. So there are the three ways you'll be doing in-text citations. You can see that Mendeley does them all quite well. It's just to be aware of the little edits that you need to make, but they're quite simple to make. It's just to know when you need to do them. Thank you for watching, and there will be a follow-up video to show you how to add your reference list from Mendeley to the end of your assignment. So be sure to watch that. Thank you.